Fight Time Network. Welcome back to the channel. We got Lee here, and we're going to give you a breakdown. UFC 310 coming up this Saturday. Last pay-per-view of the year, y'all. Last pay-per-view. We're going to start for early prelims through the prelims all the way to the main event. Here we go. Early prelims. We got Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Lucas Brzezinski starting out this card. What you think about this one, Lee?
I think this is an easy win for Kennedy. It's definitely a must win for Brzezinski. Kennedy finished Carlos Alberg. Like, he's got a finish win over Carlos Alberg, man, and that has aged well. I think he's the only spot on Carlos Alberg's record. So Kennedy's ranked at he's listed as a minus 500 on this, and I think it reflects well. I think this is get in, get out for Kennedy, and ultimately, hopefully Brzezinski can pull a rabbit out of his hat, but highly unlikely Kennedy wins, hands down.
You don't have to agree with Nzechukwu. I mean, I'm pretty sure Brzezinski's only win against Johnny Walker's older brother or younger brother.
Yeah, Walter Walker, yeah. In his last three, that was his second last fight, yeah.
Yeah, and Walker's really never looked good anyway, and that's about his only win. He's not looking good. And Nzechukwu, yeah, he fights light heavy, man, but he's 6'5".
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's cutting to 205. If he just keeps away, I bet he comes in a good 230, 240, looking fresh. I'll agree with you. Kenny Nzechukwu all the way, man.
Absolutely.
Coming up after that, we got the old caveman, Clay Guida.
Yeah, still doing it.
Against a young gun, Chase Hooper. I can't see Clay Guida. He's an old dog, not going to have any new tricks, man. Chase can keep him at a distance, pick him apart. And if it goes to the ground, I see Chase getting submission, truthfully. I don't see this going the distance. Just out of Chase. Yeah, no respect. He's going to have to go for Guida.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you on Hooper, although statistically, I think we do see a decision. Like, I think this turns into the same grappling contest that you saw in Fury Grappling, where Chase Hooper won ultimately by calf slicer. But I think under like the different nature of MMA rule set and with strikes involved, I think Guida's gonna have a little bit to show for it. He's gonna beat him to a couple of positions. There's certainly the opportunity for Hooper to finish, but ultimately, yeah, we've already seen this matchup before, and Hooper won. So in terms of the winner, it's all Chase all day.
Was that rolling around Jitsu match?
Yeah, they did a grappling match for Fury Pro Grappling back, and Chase won by calf slicer. But ultimately, Guida's got great wrestling. Hooper's got fantastic grappling, probably some of the best in the UFC.
Yeah,
he's amazing. Well, we've already seen Guida get submitted, but for some reason, I feel like this is going the whole 3 rounds.
Going the whole 3 rounds. I feel you. It's just that Chase, man, he's evolved so much. I love him as a fighter. We get to see him kind of looking back, like Tony Ferguson or Poirier. Just get to see him evolve, especially Charles Oliveira. God bless.
Yeah. And he turns it up. He takes those risks too there. Like, you saw him, I forget who ended up getting the finish on him not too long ago, but Chase was in that fight as well. He was definitely looking for a way to get it out of there.
And his only loss is to Garcia.
Yeah, Steve Garcia, who's on a tear right now, knocking everybody out.
Was that back in 2022? Yep. Knockout round 1 minute and a half.
Yeah.
He's come a long way, though, since then.
Absolutely. Yeah, still a young gun. Lots for him. Lots of matchups that are exciting.
Perfect. Moving on. We got Michael Chiesa versus Max Payne Griffin. Both of these kind of getting old here. You got Chiesa coming in 36 years old, Griffin at 39. He's actually older than I expected to be. I thought he was like 30.
Yeah. They're both up there.
They're both up there. You got Chiesa. He's coming off a win, Tony Ferguson. But how much? Yeah. I'll leave it on that.
Yeah, I definitely
talk bad about my man.
I definitely think it's Max Griffin in this one. I mean, Chiesa's really only beaten Magny, notably, and that was like 4 years ago. Like, yeah, he got the rear naked choke finish over Tony Ferguson, But ultimately, you got Griffin beating guys like Jeremiah Wells and Tim Means, who very well could put your lights out at any minute.
Yeah.
Chiesa is definitely not knocking Griffin out. Could turn into a thing with the grappling, but I certainly think the prowess of Griffin is gonna beat Chiesa. I actually think this one goes the distance. Surprisingly enough, I just with the statistics and with the way these guys have performed the last two outings, I can see a distance coming from both of their performances.
Yeah, I have to agree with you here. Both of them ain't going to be all antsy in each other's face. I don't see him taking many like chances. I think
Yeah,
it's gonna be a big feeling out match. Nobody's gonna go for the gold, I don't think. I'll agree with you going into decision for sure. And who I got, man, this is one I haven't been able to make a decision on. I like both these fighters. Oh,
it's one of those matches you just want it to turn
it's a
out
close
right.
one because at least they put, it's not a 39-year-old versus up and comer hangry 23
Yeah.
or something like that. So this one's
For,
really good to guess.
former Ultimate Fighter winner and Max Griffin, who's just a dog, almost got like 50 fights, 40 fights.
Thing is, if Chiesa could get into the ground, that's what I would go. So I'd say
Yeah.
I'll actually go Chiesa decision here. That's where I'm at.
Chiesa versus Griffin. We got the first clash of the Fight Time Network. Let's go.
So
Brendan
I'll take
versus Leon
what a striking
Chiesa
game,
versus
dude.
Griffin.
If he can't get in on him, he's done because Max will work him on a feet pad. All right,
Yeah,
moving on. Moving on. We got Cody Durden versus Joshua Vaughn. 11-2 versus 17-6. Cody Durden, big old wrestling background. Oh boy, I don't know, this was a hard one for me too. Because Joshua Vaughn's striking, man, is just it's impeccable. And Durden's not going
yeah.
to stand there and trade with him at all. I don't feel like, dude. This is going to be either Durden's getting in or
Grappler versus striker. Yeah. Yeah, no, I have Joshua Vaughn on this one, or Joshua Van on this one. Absolutely. Like, his only loss is to Charles Johnson, who he
right.
was beating Charles Johnson for 2 rounds before he got caught with an uppercut. Like, Durden is seasoned, and Durden has beat
Very.
Johnson and he has beat Hadley. But then, yeah, he had that ninja choke over Matt Schnell the last time he was out.
Yep.
But I think, both guys are durable, but I think age is going to play a factor in this one, as most of the time it does. And Joshua Van being 23, already going through a hard mistake with Charles Johnson and letting that victory slip from him. I don't think he's going to pull any punches in training for a vet like Cody Durden, and I think he's going to come away with the victory, and we're going to get what we expect out of him.
I'll 100% agree with you here. I mean, 10-year difference. It's already been proved, what, 65% plus fights, somewhere around there. 6 years younger, something like that. It's favored. It's something
Yeah,
crazy.
he's 23. Cody's 33. So,
33.
yeah, there's 10 years in between them.
And if Joshua Vaughn just works on his ground game just a little bit, man, this guy's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this division.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how he reacts to Cody Durden's constant pressure.
But we'll see here quick. I would take Vaughn inside the distance, truthfully. I know Durden's very durable, but
Yeah,
I think I'm going to take
yeah,
Joshua Vaughn inside the distance.
yeah. I don't see this one going to the cards at all. It's one of those. It's probably the people's fight in this one there.
All right, moving
310.
on to the oh hell, I just brain farted. Featured bout of the early prelims. God bless me. Let's keep this
Yeah.
rolling. We got Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders, y'all. This is a great matchup. I'm so happy the UFC put this together. Weidman sticking around for another banger. Yeah, Eric Anders also. What are you thinking, Lee?
I hate to say this. I really hate to say this, but looking statistically and having to make a prediction, I think it's Anders, and it's Anders by finish. Like, I mean, this one, I don't think the guys at this age and this part of their career are going to be looking to be in there for a full 3 rounds. They're ultimately going to come out. They're probably going to put, they might put it on, whether Weidman comes in with the wrestling or Anders. Somebody's going to be either looking to put this guy out or get out of there. And I think it's going to happen quicker than we expect. I mean, Weidman's been particularly inactive for obvious reasons with the injury and everything like there. Anders has been putting it in. Surprisingly, both these guys have been like professionally grappling a lot. They've been on like that Fury circuit a lot, competing, both Weidman and Anders. But we saw this prime example, was it with Court McGee like a couple weekends ago, like two 40-year-olds that haven't had a finish in Lord knows how long. And, they get in there and within the first round, somebody just makes a mistake and the other person
Yeah.
says, that's it. That's kind of what I see happening here. And I see it working in Eric Anders' favor.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. There's nothing really Weidman at this age going to give Anders as a problem. I mean, Weidman did last 3 rounds with Brad Tavares. He's a dog. And everybody thought that was going to go the distance.
Yeah.
Coming off a decision win over Bruno Silva. Was it a decision win round 3, 2 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else see that when they look stuff up? That's wicked. I'll agree. I'll take Eric Anders with you. And I don't see this one going the distance either. I feel like Eric Anders is going to shut out Weidman pretty good. Everything is going to throw at him. It'll be a really one-sided event. Eric Anders inside the distance. And that's your featured bout. Early prelims, y'all. Coming up, we got prelim card, UFC 310.
Fight Time Network.